Hello, I'm Peter Byers, and as you might have seen on the introductory screen, the name is spelled B-Y-E-R-S. There is no U in my name. I started working for my living nearly 65 years ago, and I worked for a company that made silicon and germanium semiconductors, transistors, diodes, rectifiers, and electronic valves, thyrotrons, ignitrons, magnetrons. And it wasn't long before I got involved in working with and on computers. So I've been at computers for nearly 65 years. The first computer that I got involved with was a Pegasus. Now there was no such thing as compilers, and you worked in machine code, and you either keyed it in at the console bit by bit, or alternatively you could read it in on 5-channel paper tape. The other computer that I worked on and with was an AEI 1010. So that was where I started my life in computers. Since then, I've graduated to working on ICL computers, on IBM computers, mainframes, both, and followed that by Hewlett Packard. And I've developed many major systems. Now, following that, I retired, and I thought, I am going to keep myself alive by eating well, exercising well, and keeping my brain active. Well, my way of keeping my brain active was to create applications, business applications, and websites. I chose to use Windows Active Server Pages, ASP files, and I chose to use Microsoft Access databases. I started with XP, Windows XP, moved eventually to Windows 7, but a picnic it was, migrating my IIS local host development platform from XP to Windows 7. But I worked hard, I persevered, and I succeeded. Now I have something like over 100, well over 100 websites. My development is done locally, testing and using IIS local host. When I've got it how I want it, then I move it to an ISP where I have my own dedicated computer. Now, following all of this, I needed to think about moving to Windows 10, and I needed to find out about the capabilities of Windows 10, and I thought, well, I will go for a Surface Pro running Windows 10 Pro. Before I took the step of spending lots of money and buying a Surface Pro with Windows 10 Pro, I needed the answer to a very simple question, and that is, does Windows 10 Pro support IIS localhost for running classic ASP, and can the classic ASP use Microsoft Access databases? I looked and I couldn't find out. I asked lots of people and they hadn't got a clue. So I tweeted to two people to ask that question. I didn't receive the courtesy of an acknowledgement or a reply. Well, eventually I thought to myself, maybe I could get help from the new flagship Microsoft store at Oxford Circus. So I telephoned them and asked them the same question. Can you sort out IIS localhost? And can you tell me how to persuade IIS localhost to access old Access databases? Oh yes sir, we can do that sir, no problem. So I made an appointment at some considerable expense. I got to the store and met a very nice lady, Catherine Matthew. Eventually I thought to myself, maybe I could get help from the new flagship Microsoft store at Oxford Circus. So I telephoned them and asked them the same question. Can you sort out IIS localhost? And can you tell me how to persuade IIS localhost to access old Access databases? Oh yes sir, we can do that sir, no problem. So I made an appointment at some considerable expense. I got to the store and met a very nice lady, Catherine Matthew. The information given to Kathleen was that I needed Windows 10 reloaded. Well, I explained that wasn't what I wanted. That's the first screw up from Microsoft recently. And she said basically, we don't have the knowledge or the skills in the store to be able to help you. So I asked if I could speak to the general manager. It seems he was busy, but I spoke to a nice young man who apparently was the duty manager, and he gave me two options. One was to leave my expensive Hewlett Packard 17-inch laptop, which had cost me over £1,100, with them, and I would get it sorted out. The other alternative was they would escalate it. Well, they did escalate it, and that was that. A gentleman called Niraj Singh from the United States telephoned me. He came via Microsoft UK, so it was a UK call, not an international call, and he said, we've been told you need assistance to use Microsoft Access. So I explained to him that that was not the reason for escalation. It was to persuade IIS local host to work, and then when it was working, to get it to read old previous version access files. Oh, he said, I don't have the skill or the knowledge, but I can pass it to my business colleagues. They will give it a new number, escalation number, and they will be in touch with you, and they will telephone you, and if you're not in, well, that's not a problem. They will send you an email. Well, I'm just going to break and go round a little short circuit. A few years ago, I got calls from international calls, and one of my colleagues kindly answered it and followed up the instructions in it, and the instructions were to ring what he didn't realise was a premium rate international call. It ended up costing me several £100 for that call. So I told my telephone never to accept international calls anymore. Well, Niraj rang me on Saturday morning, which was mightily quick, and he expected his business colleagues would be as quick. On Monday, I noticed my telephone had blocked an international call at late morning. I guess that may have been his business department. But I did not get an email saying they hadn't been able to get in touch with me. If they really are interested and want to get in touch with me and help me to solve my problems, they could try on Skype. My Skype name is PBYERS, P Byers, and we can speak to each other on Skype. Alternatively, they could do the same as Niraj did and route the call through Microsoft UK. But anyway, I've got no further. I'm tempted to throw my wonderful new £1,100 laptop through the window. The alternative is to go to get it converted to Linux and use Node.js. The thing that militates against that is I have got 10,000 active server pages built up over the many years. So neither alternative seems good or sensible or practical to me.